So I got myself a new B-roll camera, the Sony FX3, and today we're gonna rig that baby up. You ready? Let's roll. YouTubers, what is up? It's your boy Will Rodriguez coming to you with another video. Today we are going to rig up my new B-Cam Sony FX3. I'm pretty excited. I know what you guys are gonna say. Why are you rigging up the FX3? The point of that camera is to not rig it up. Well, I have my reasons and I'm gonna tell you why. First, let me start off by saying this is not going to be a full-on review on the camera itself. You can check out other YouTube channels to check that out. This is basically just going to be why I'm rigging this up. There's really not many rigs out there for this camera yet. There's some coming out, but I pretty much used a universal rig, and I'll get all into that as we go along. But just so you guys know, this camera is freaking wonderful. This thing is an awesome camera. You guys, if you read all the reviews, or if you know about the A7S III, you know that this camera is awesome. It's pretty much an A7S III rehoused into a smaller form factor without the electronic viewfinder. It's more tailored to videographers than photographers. So I'm using this camera basically just for videography. That's it. It's gonna be my B-roll camera. It's gonna be the camera for my run and gun. That's what I'm using it for. So with that said, let's go ahead and look into this rig. Now below pretty much is everything I used on this rig. The only thing I couldn't include in here was the CamVate adjustable camera cage. But everything in here that you see will be in the description below. So if you want to pick any one of these pieces up, you can do so by clicking on one of the Amazon links that I'll leave below in the description. So one question that you guys might have is, why are you rigging up this camera? The point of the FX3 is pretty much to not rig it up. It's more to, it was designed to be just compact run and gun, but you can still rig a camera up and be run and gun. I'm doing it basically because I want to use a power bank to power up my monitor and my camera at the same time. I also don't need the XLR inputs. I'm just going to use a regular Rode Video Mic Pro, attach it to my side handle and be done with it. Attach it to the camera, boom. That's all I need it for. Now, the reason why I'm gonna rig this up is because the handle that's provided with this camera with the XLR attachment, it makes it a bit awkward when you want to attach other things to it. So if you put a monitor on the two screws that's on top of that handle, it becomes awkward to hold the rig with that handle. So it didn't feel right. So I was like, you know what? This is not gonna work for me. Let's go ahead and rig this baby up. So let's talk about this camera cage. I picked up this CamVate universal cage from Amazon, and I really like the versatility of this cage. You can adjust the height by loosening a few screws, which will accommodate a good amount of camera sizes to this cage. You also can move the top and bottom plate so that it can fit wider cameras. Maybe not the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema wide type cameras, but you'll get most cameras to fit. The top plate has a mount that attaches to the hot shoe of your camera so that you can have an extra layer of support on the top portion of this cage. I opted not to use this because the camera would be fixed to the cage and I won't be able to have a quick disconnect option, which is what I'm going for. It's still sturdy. The top wiggles a bit if I try to do it, I would say purposely. However, I feel confident that it will not get loose on me and fall apart. It is pretty secured and, it works for me. The top handle is from Magic, which has a few cold shoe connections and an ARRI connection for mounting monitors to the handle. I put a leveling bubble on the top of the handle, which comes in very handy when I want to put this on a tripod and make sure that the camera is leveled. So the next piece of equipment I want to get into is the P200 quick release plate. The intent of using this instead of attaching the cage directly to my camera is to give me the option to quickly remove the camera so I can mount it on a gimbal or get into a real tight shot or something like that. Since I'm pretty much using P200 plates for all my attachments, it makes it quite easy to just remove the camera and not have to swap out the bottom plate to attach it to a tripod, gimbal, slider, or any other type of equipment. The only thing that will slow down that process on my rig specifically is the hand grip I'm using. I attach that to the camera and directly to the rig via the 15mm rod support, and I'll get into that later on in this video. Now with that said, let's get into these rods. Beautiful. I love these 15mm rod supports. They allow you to mount different adapters or mounts to your rig, but if anything, if they do nothing at all, at least it makes your rig look freaking cool. They're from a company called 8sin, and I got the 20cm for the bottom and the 15cm rod length for the top. They have a good amount of sizes you can choose from. I'll link their website on the description below. And no, I'm not sponsored in any way from 8sin or anyone else on this video. Just letting you all know that they have some really good products. A bit on the pricey side, so just keep that in mind that you will need to pay a bit of a premium for their products. In my eyes though, they're definitely worth it. Now I put it all together using a base plate from a company called Dojnog. I think that's how you call them. I'm probably butchering that name, but yeah. I got it from Amazon for like 28 bucks and it has not given me any issues thus far, so to me the quality is spot on. The next thing I got is the lens support system from SmallRig. These are one of those parts that I painted and hydro dipped. It comes in handy to add a layer of support for heavier lenses so that it doesn't put so much strain on your camera. For the product B-roll shots, I'm probably going to be using the 35mm 1.4 Rokinon lens and my Sony 90mm 2.8 macro G lens, which are not the lightest lenses around. And that makes this lens support mount from SmallRig pretty damn useful. Next is the mini matte box from Tilta. It's very lightweight, which makes it perfect for the run and gun type rigs. I like this matte box a lot because you can use your circular ND filters or Pro Mist filters or any type of filters you want on this without a problem. You can also fit a 4x5.65 filters to the matte box if you wanted to. This leather hand grip. Now I got this from Lynca, I think that's how you pronounce it, Lynca. It really helps me take a hold of this grip and adds a layer of security. I want to make sure that when I'm holding this thing that I feel confident if I accidentally bump into something or someone that it won't just fall from my grasp. Now this is the part I was mentioning earlier on the video, and that is because I'm attaching this grip from the camera to the rig itself. It makes the whole quick disconnect thing I'm trying to go for be not so quick. It's still not that big of a hassle to disconnect. I just have to take it from the camera or remove it from the camera, but still I'm trying to figure out a way to do this a bit faster. If you all have any ideas that can help me figure out how to make this work for me, let me know in the comment section below. So to get that tight grip, I removed the quick disconnect part that came with the leather strap. It came with one, And I did that because the plate that it comes with is not the same as the P200s, which doesn't do me any good because it won't adapt to any of my other equipment. So I eliminated that altogether and attached it to the 15mm rod and used some Velcro to have it kind of like stay in place and keep that tight connection, that tight grip. All right, so the way I intend to power everything is by using this 45 watt 30,000 milliamp power bank from, I'm gonna butcher this, Imuto. I think that's how you say it, Imuto. I attach it using this Camvate cheese plate with a quick release mount and a cell phone mount adapter to secure the power bank. Now this power bank is just under 60 bucks and it powers both my camera and my Ninja V monitor. From what I tested, I get around 3.5 to 4 hours of having both the camera and the Ninja V in the on position without turning them off. You can most likely get a full day's work done with this if you turn your system off when not in use or in between shoots, etc. Now the 3.5 to 4 hours of continuous runtime is more than enough for what I need it for. The best part is once I drain this thing out, the battery that's inside the camera, because you still need a battery to be in the camera itself to use a power bank on the FX3, it takes over, and I get an additional 2 hours of battery life. Of course, without the Ninja V, but I still have my flip out screen that I can use. So it's not like I won't be able to see what I'm doing. But anyways, I got 2 of these power banks, so I'm pretty much just set for whatever situation I'm in. This is a nice budget-friendly alternative than using a V-mount system. So I got this wooden handle from Rig. All these names, guys, there gotta be some no-name knockoffs out there. I don't know. I've never heard of these brands, but it works for me. Anyways, this is a basic handle that can be placed either on the right or left side of your camera. And you do that by just adjusting the mount brackets. You just take your Allen key, which it comes with. You have Allen key that's magnetically attached on the top. It's pretty much concealed. I really like this because you can use this not only for your handle, but for anything on your rig that you want to kind of just tighten up a bit. Anyways, you take that, you loosen the 1/4-inch screws on your handle, and you can take the bracket and you can move it either to the right or the left. It also has a cold shoe mount, so you can attach whatever you want to it. I have my Rode Video Mic Pro attached to it, and it stays attached nice and snug. The top 15mm rod is basically used for mounting additional equipment like a zoom recorder or wireless transmitter for my lavalier mic setups. Also, watching this video, I see that I mounted this rod support a bit crooked. That's killing me. But don't worry, I saw it afterwards and I fixed it. So it's nice and straight, uniform, the way it should be. You probably noticed that I did paint the cage and a few other parts in this rig. I also hydro dipped these parts to customize my cage and make it my own. This cage to hydro dip is very easy. You can really make a rig your own by painting and hydro dipping it. If you guys are interested on me doing a tutorial, let me know in the comment section below and I'll get right on it. It's not hard to do, and again, it really allows you to customize your rig to be pretty much your own. So my monitor of choice is the Atomos Ninja 5 or V or whatever you want to call it. It used to be on my GH5, but I'm using that camera pretty much exclusively for my top-down videos, which is what you're looking at now. So no need for the Atomos on that, and it now lives on top of this Sony FX3 camera. I'm using the Ninja V to record, but I don't use the ProRes RAW option that you can use with this setup. It's mainly because my video editing software of choice is DaVinci Resolve and it doesn't currently support ProRes RAW. So I pretty much lose out on the 16-bit dynamic range, but it's all good. The footage I get from using ProRes 422 is good enough for me. I also use a V90 SD card in the camera internally, which I record in the All-I codec as a backup just in case, any tomfoolery were to arise from the Ninja V. Now the last thing is cable management, and I just use Velcro straps to take care of any loose cables on this rig just to clean it up a bit. And yeah, you know what? I think that's pretty much it. This is my rig, guys. Well guys, that's pretty much all I got for you today. If you're new to the channel and you like what you see, consider subscribing, smash that like button. It really does help me out if you do that, guys. Comment down below, let me know your thoughts. I really like to see what you guys have to say. And I do look at my comments, and I would love to interact with you guys. Again, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Until the next one, I'm Will, that other guy's review. And I'll see ya. Peace.